I don't want my picture on me. How do I get it out?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, no, see, on my screen,
Why don't you just sit with me?
no, I can't hear.
Well, there's no audio yet. They didn't put it up yet. Just come sit with me. Here, take this off and sit with me.
Will I be able to hear it?
Yes.
Let me see first.
You'll
Because
hear
I
it.
got the whole screen.
Yeah, but you'll hear it. They're having trouble getting audio right now. See, I've got audio here.
I muted my mic.
So we can just put it on orange. I know some mics do feedback when you. They want to sign up, but
John, John, be quiet.
No, I got my thing muted, but did you see that?
You-
Oh.
Testing 1, 2. Yeah. Okay. I'd like to start with the song from my first album. No, just. Okay. I'm going to turn the time over to Tarby Bryant, who's going to offer our invocation. And I'd like to invite Jamie Goldsmith up, who immediately after will lead us in our patriotic song.
You join me in prayer. Our Father and our God, we believe that faith in you alone gives meaning and purpose to human life. We come to you today with thankful hearts for the many blessings that you've given to us. We're thankful for this Rotary Club of Las Vegas, its varied members, their contribution of time, talent, and treasure given freely to those less fortunate in our city. We're thankful for the food that we're about to enjoy, for those who prepared it, those who will serve it, and may it nourish our bodies to us in our holy service. We're thankful today for our speaker, Vernon Fox, for his many contributions to our world and the youth in our city. For it is in your holy name that we pray, and all God's people say, Amen.
Please join me in singing our national anthem. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave. Thank you.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. There you go. Okay. Yeah. Cheese. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the club, On behalf of the club, I want to recognize and thank those that helped us with today's meeting. Our setup and greeters were Barbara Castro, Mike Mewborn, and Bhavan Singh. Our sergeant of arms was the man, the myth, the legend, Bhavan Singh. Yay. He wrote that, not me, just so you know that. We had raffle ticket sales. I didn't see who did that. Who did the raffle ticket sales? Janice. Thank you very much, Janice, for that. Tear down today. Afterwards will be Barbara Castro as well. Thank you. Our song leader, as you saw, and we enjoyed, was Jamie Goldsmith. And our scribe today is Susan Ziobro. And our photographer is Jim Tucker. We're going to have a pass around sheet because we need kind of to spread out the opportunities to serve the club. So look for opportunities to be involved in this. It's not just the 25 club's responsibility to help us prepare for these meetings, though it is their responsibility, but it's not just their responsibility. I also wanted to recognize the leadership of the 25 Club. I think they're doing a great job. Susan, can I have Susan, Bhavan, Lisa Motley? I don't know if Lisa's on there, but thank the 25 Club. Okay, we have some guests. Let's start with our international guest. Bhavan, can you bring the microphone to Bob Werner? He's going to introduce our international guest, Alfredo.
Yes, we are very pleased to have from the Philippines, Alfredo, and he is looking for a club in Las Vegas. And I was thinking that perhaps he should consider us.
Yes.
Alfredo, say a couple of words.
Thank you very much. And good afternoon. I'm from Rotary in the Philippines. And we have 10 districts in the Philippines. And I'm from District 3820, composed of 10 states or provinces. My name is Alfredo Pulistico, past president, celebrate Rotary 2004-2005, and I have 17 awards during our convention. As of today, I was a member since 1999, and I was an officer since then up to now, and I'm the international service in our club, which is Rotary Club of Nagrolang, Laguna, Philippines, and I represent this club. And
Great. Are we going to exchange flags?
sorry.
You have. I see Bob has a flag.
Yeah, we're going to give you a flag.
Yes.
Did you bring one too? Oh.
I bring our bulletin as of
Great.
July 23.
Thank you very much.
very
Welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, Bhavan. Do we have any other guests? Non-Rotarians. Non-Rotarian guests.
I guess I have both, non-Rotarian and Rotarian. I want to introduce the Paley family. We have John, who's going to be inducted today. And with him is his wife, Kathleen, and his daughter, Emily.
Yay.
Welcome. Anybody want to say anything? No? I have more. Sorry. On the screen, we have some visiting Rotarians that are looking at us for a club in Las Vegas since they've moved here recently. Marilyn and Jim Everett, you want to wave at us? Thank you for coming.
Yay, thank you. Good afternoon. I am pleased to announce, if you would stand up, we have Jeffrey Tompkins and Carrie Martinez from Jet Foundation, and you will hear more about them later. And Jeffrey also joined us at one other lunch meeting. And we also have another prospective interested member, Elliot Ferraro. He's from the Apple Valley Rotary Club, and he is with Terra Contractors.
Welcome.
Good afternoon, Mr. President. I have as my guest today my granddaughter, Sarah Gillette, who's heading off to sophomore year at University of Utah.
Great, welcome.
I have Ivy, my girlfriend from the past 15 years. And also, she just became officially the assistant director for the Wheelchair Foundation.
Hold on, Bobbin, before you go, John, did I see you were in the newspaper today? Not. Tell me more about it, because you're going to pay for it. We're going to fine you $200 for this.
200.
variety.
Okay, Bill will pay it for me.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Hello.
okay. Hold on.
Hello.
I hear $7,000 is what we had it.
Is this thing on?
5,000 wheelchairs, 7,000 wheelchairs.
That was a great article on the Wheelchair Foundation, and John and the crew does an amazing job. Hey, everybody. I'm Bill Houghton, a longtime member of the club, and I am so excited today to introduce a friend of mine. Terry Chandler started a group called Future Smiles, and Future Smiles brings dental care and education to the poorest children in our community and has affected tens of thousands of lives over the last 11 years. Blown away. She doesn't know about us. We didn't know about her, so I'm bringing her in today so that she knows Las Vegas Rotary. Terry?
Great. Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you all. It's a pleasure to be here today. And I think something that we all learned through this pandemic is health matters to our community. So I appreciate all the work that you're doing to support our community and our kids. And it's a pleasure to be here today. Thank you.
We have more guests, I believe, over here. I hate to say it to everybody else, but this is my favorite guest of probably the year, my term so far.
I was his guest once.
It's not Sarah,
This
sorry.
year.
It's not you.
Hello, I have the pleasure of introducing my guest, Bailey Ballard. Bailey is a lifelong Las Vegas resident. She is a returned missionary. Stand up. And she has an associate's degree, and she is looking for a full-time job. And do not hold it against her. She is Mike's youngest child. Welcome, Bailey.
Okay, now visiting Rotarians. Do we have any visiting Rotarians? We've got a whole bunch. Maybe one.
Thank you,
We've got
Bob.
more than one.
Thank you, President Mike. It's my pleasure to introduce Joe Sweeney, who is serving this year as the Assistant District Governor for District 5495 in Arizona. He's a member of the Prescott Frontier Club, and he got here to our meeting in an interesting way. He was a district governor, assistant district governor in California, and heard there was an opening for assistant district governors here in Nevada, but his GPS malfunctioned and took him all the way to Arizona.
Got it.
So he's coming back to check out what he missed.
Got it. Great.
Thank you. Nice to be here, President Mike. I was here 2 or 3 years ago. I think the president was, last name was Knowles. Was that? Cole.
Oh, Jim Cole.
There you go.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
He's back there, all the way to the back.
Good to see you again. All right. Anyway, it's glad to be here. Thank you very
Glad
much.
to have you.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
we have a visiting Rotarian right behind you as well. President of the Pahrump Rotary Club.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Eddie Wade. I'm the president of the Rotary Club. And Jane Monasco, who used to be in this club here, told me to say hello to everyone once I decided to come and join us. That's what I'm doing. Also, Jamie Goldsmith invited me last week. My wife started feeling a little ill at the last minute, so I wasn't able to make it. But I think that Tom Navarti did make it last week. Also, Jamie Goldsmith invited me to be a part of the SOAS program. And so I graciously accepted that, and I appreciate her inviting me. And so I turned around and invited her to give a great presentation at our club next Tuesday from 12 to 1. So I'm excited about that. I've been a Rotarian. This is going into my 3rd year. The club members sort of like drafted me to be president this year because other members
They
been
waste no time.
president 2 or 3 different times before, so they didn't want to take it again. So, but there's been a great support and help to me, and I really appreciate it. And Tom Navarti and all of the club that I've visited so far, a lot of them have been a great help to me also. So I'm excited about being a Rotarian. I'm still learning. I'm still new. James Monasco has explained a lot of things to me and shared a lot of things with me, so I cannot thank him enough. So once again, thank you very much for graciously inviting me to be at y'all club meet today.
Great. Thank you. Okay, any other visiting Rotarians? Okay, Tina and Tony. I'm going to turn the time over to our membership committee chair people. I think you're coming to the front. Is that correct? Awesome. You look great, by the way. They're twins.
Yes, we reunited long lost family members. It's a joke. Today, we are honored to induct John Pally, a transferring Rotarian from Roseville, California, as a new member into the Las Vegas Rotary Club, the greatest Rotary Club in the universe. We welcome his wife, Kathleen, and his daughter, Emily, here today to celebrate his induction with us. I would like to ask Rob Tellis, his sponsor, to give you a brief bio.
Thank you, Tina. And by the way, yes, I am a member of this club. All right. I just see so many new faces, so I look forward to meeting a lot of you folks. But let's go ahead and get to the introduction. So I am honored to be able to introduce today John Pally. He is an usher. He handles major events. Sounds like a pretty sweet gig. As a side hustle, he is a 20-plus probate attorney, 20-plus year probate attorney. He's also a former Rotarian. He's been at his prior club for over 10 years, just about 13 years. And so now we are lucky to have this experienced Rotarian come to us. I had an opportunity to meet with him and sit down and get to know him just a bit. I got to say, the guy is funny. He's smart. I think he's going to be able to keep up with all the folks in this room. And also, too, he's got a great head style. I say head style because technically there's no hair there. So, but again, really, this gentleman is going to be such a fantastic addition to our club. And I ask you all to join me in welcoming him. Again, John Pally. Thank you.
John, would you like to say a few words before the induction?
Oh, thank you, Rob. Yes, we have the same hairstyle, and it's great. Save on haircuts. Just real quick, I've been in service clubs a long time. Rotary for 13 years. I don't know if anyone knows the Active 2030 Club. I was in that previously, which is where I met my beautiful wife at the National Convention. And then before that, I was in a fraternity, which we thought we were doing big things when we would raise $50 or something for a nonprofit. But anyway, and then I should say also my daughter is a future Rotarian. She was supposed to be on the RYE program this past year, but that of course was canceled. And she and her brother restarted the Interact Club at their high school a couple years ago. So anyway, I'm excited to be here and thank you.
Thank you, John. Most of us go through life focused on career and family, but at some point we realize that we're a much bigger community. There is a much bigger community that needs our help. That realization is a life-altering milestone in a person's life. We believe that joining Rotary is the vehicle to enable an individual to accomplish more than he thought he could, reach more people than individually possible, and change another person's life by creating an environment of possibility and hope. John, you have reached this milestone far earlier than most by serving since 2008 as an active Rotarian. It is the duty of our Rotary Club to add new members from time to time so that we may not only increase our usefulness and influence as a club, but also to extend the spirit of Rotary throughout the community. Membership in Rotary is both an honor and a privilege, and every privilege has its corresponding obligations, including 1, attendance at the weekly meetings, a basic method of fulfilling the principle of fellowship, and in a way by which you represent your vocation. 2, to perform your share of club and community service, and the many committees of our club will afford you opportunities to give service. And 3, last by no means, is our ideal of friendship. As you expect to receive, so give. May you be stimulated, John, by the friendship you find here, and may we in return know you will be an added source of strength to our club. Each Rotarian is expected to be an example of the basic ideal of Rotary, service above self, and we anticipate you will continue being an example of that ideal. You are now being given a Rotary pin by your sponsor as a symbol of your acceptance into our family of Rotary. Wear it proudly. Very nice. And we have this plaque for you as well, commemorating the day. We all look forward to the enrichment of our lives as well as that of your own by your association in Rotary, the world's oldest, largest, and finest service organization. Welcome. Yes. Fellow Rotarians, if you would please stand on behalf of your new club, it is my pleasure and honor to extend congratulations to you, John, on becoming the newest member of the Las Vegas Rotary Club.
Okay. That was awesome. Welcome to the club. We appreciate his family, John's family, for being here on this special day. It's special for him and it's special for us. Okay, we have a number of announcements. I think I'm going to start with Mr. Werner. You want to come up? And then Bhavin, if you could bring the Bhavin. Jamie will be next after Bhavin.
I just wanted to remind you how important our Las Vegas Rotary Foundation is. I just signed $67,000 checks to go out to various things that we support. It is imperative that if you have any way to help bring my total up to 4 million, I would appreciate it very much. As the president of the Las Vegas Rotary Foundation, I say thank you, thank you, thank you.
Great. Jamie.
Hi, everyone. We actually sold a few tickets to our Rotary Soar High Tea. So we're up to 10 tickets. We would really like to sell 25. Instructions on how to buy tickets are in the wheel today. You just go to eventbrite.com and search Rotary Soar, and the high tea will pop up. A few people have asked me if men are invited. Of course, you guys are invited, except for Bobbin, according to Janice, but come anyway. We would love to see everyone there. It's a really great opportunity to build better friendships and raise some money to honor first responders. Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much, Jamie. Mike, I wanted to recognize Mike Kudiamat. He has brought in face masks for us that we are to wear in and out if you ever need any. Like I today forgot mine, so thank you very much. So thank you, Michael, for bringing that. There he is over there, our board member. Blood drive. We're going to have a blood drive on August 23rd here at Lowry's Prime Rib. So if you can plan on that, that is 23rd. What day of the week is that? Monday. Okay. Great. Jeffrey Thompson, can you actually know Battlefield Vegas? Is there anybody here to talk about our event? We've got a sign-up sheet on August 26th. We're having an event from
Oh, here we go. What do you got for me? Would you like to say that? No. Battlefield Vegas, the 26th of this month, 5 o'clock. I understand we're probably going to meet here, or we can meet over at Battlefield Vegas. It'll end around 7. They close at 6. They've kept security extended for our tour. They have a number of vehicles to see, gun vaults, shooting ranges, a lot of military stuff. Little side story, when the Mandalay Bay shooting occurred, the police first called them on their way to Mandalay Bay, leaving in force to get their vehicles, which they have the access codes to take the vehicles in times of emergency, because he's got better vehicles than the police department has.
Wow.
Anyway, hope you can make it. I think we're limited to 20 or 25 people for this.
Great. Okay. And is there a fee for that?
No fee on our part.
Okay.
There's no fee they're charging us. If you want to raise some money for the club, that's up to the club.
Right. So we're thinking of maybe $20 would be a recommended donation to the foundation. That'd be great. Okay.
Sounds good to me.
Real quick, COVID and its variants are kind of getting back in the news and affecting us. We need to make a decision this week about our holiday party. I think I know what the decision is, but I just want to get a feel for the group. If you feel we should potentially go virtual this year and not have a holiday party, raise your hand. If you think we ought to meet, I think we're meeting at the Green Valley Ranch, who has graciously allowed us to carry over last year's commitment to this year. If you think we ought to have the meeting, raise your hand. Okay, great. Okay, there we go, Sean. We got our information. Jeffrey Thompson, could you come up here, please? We have a grants committee. As most of you know, the foundation allocates to the Las Vegas Rotary Club the right to give funds on its behalf. And we're looking, just so you know, Katie Crockett, our president-elect, is in charge of the grants committee. We're looking for good organizations to give funds to. So if you know, not-for-profits, primarily that serve the youth in Las Vegas to help them with literacy and other success metrics. Please encourage them to apply to the grants committee, and information can be found on our website. My last month as president-elect, our grants committee approved a grant for $2,000 to the Jet Foundation. We did a site tour, several of us did, and we love the work that they're doing. Jeffrey Thompson is the founder. And why don't you take a few moments? We've got $2,000 to give him today. Tell us about what you're going to use it for and who you serve.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dr. Jeffrey Tompkins. It's okay, Mike.
Tompkins.
Tompkins, it's okay. So as he stated, I'm the founder and executive director for Jet Foundation. And essentially what we do, we're advocates for the, okay. So what we do is we're advocates for the underprivileged and underserved communities here in Las Vegas and surrounding areas. I founded in 2018, feeding the homeless population out of the trunk of my car. And in less than 3 years, we've grown to now have a community center with the first sickle cell organization in Nevada. We have a collection of 22 programs and services that we offer the community. And as Mike stated, they came and toured our facility. So we're super thankful that you guys came and enjoyed that. And what the grant we're using for, as he stated, is for one of the areas in our center is for our kids room, our kids center. And we're going to put a television in there, also do a reading library and do educational materials for our young members that come in. So we're super thankful to Rotary, super thankful to the committee, super thankful to Mike and all of you guys for making this possible. So on behalf of Jet Foundation and the community and population that I serve, I thank you guys very, very much. Thanks.
Great. Okay. Yeah. I think that concludes our announcements for the moment. Enjoy some fellowship. We'll call you back in a few moments for our raffle and our introduction of our speaker. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Testing 1, 2. Got it. Okay. We got the first thing is tickets. Tickets. We have the pot. Okay, the ticket number is 70218. Those are the last 5 digits. 70218. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. The wife of our guest. Come on up. Okay. What we have here is the incredible shrinking deck. Every week we tear up a card so your odds get better. So if you pull the Joker, you get a right for $892 plus whatever we raised today for 50%, and the other 50% goes to our foundation.
All right.
So pull the Joker.
Big money, big money.
Oh!
Nope.
Nope. Okay, so you get the honor of ripping it up.
Hey, I did it. Okay. You want in a bunch of pieces?
Doesn't matter. Okay. So for not winning the Joker, you get $10. Yay. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, our next ticket is 70176. 70176. Okay. Matt just won two $25 gift cards. Cheese. Okay. Tarby, come on up.
So our speaker today at the Rotary Club of Las Vegas is Vernon Fox, a former NFL safety, a motivational speaker, and an associate minister. Vernon is a native of Las Vegas. He attended Cimarron High School, where he graduated in the top 10% of his class. He went from there to Fresno State, where he was an academic All-American, a National Scholar Athlete, and graduated with a BA in sociology. Vernon had a distinguished NFL career from 2002 to 2009 at the San Diego Chargers, Denver Broncos, and the Detroit Lions. After the NFL in 2013, for 7 years, Vernon was the head football coach at Faith Lutheran High School and led his team to their first state championship in the 42 years since the school started, and was the two-time coach of the year, won 6 championships in 7 seasons, and 2 academic state championships. This man is a winner. He's married to Ty for the last 16 years, and they have 2 children. Please join me in giving a big welcome to Vernon Fox.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate the warm welcome, and thank you so much, Mr. Bryant, for inviting me here today. I'll give him a check later for that introduction, all of the nice things that he said. But it is a privilege and an honor to be here, an extreme. I'm humbled to have this opportunity to share with you all. I was able to do a lot of things in my life over the time that, I was an NFL player, and it opened a lot of doors, allowed me to meet a lot of people, to see a lot of things, and to tangibly put my hands on things that I never thought that I would in this life. But I think the thing that it did for me that was far greater than anything is that it gave me influence, it gave me a voice, and it gave me opportunities like today. And so I don't take those things for granted. I'm excited to be here. And so again, thank you also to Mike. I appreciate the invite. Man, that was a good salmon, just to say that really quick. That was really good. The last time I was here, I was speaking in front of a group of women, and it was all women. I got invited to speak to this organization. I got there and it was all women. And I'll just say that much less pressure today. So I'm excited. I'm going to get this timer started because I want to be cognizant and respect of the time that I've been given. I'm also a Pentecostal preacher, so 2 hours can pass really fast, and we not know. So I want to share a little bit of something with you. I was having a conversation with Tarby a few weeks back. We were having lunch, and I was sharing some things with him, and we were talking about the potential of me coming and being a part of today. And I was excited about the opportunity, but I wondered what would be the most appropriate thing for me to talk about. And, we started talking and sharing some different things, and I mentioned something. And in the course of that conversation, Tarby said, "That's it right there. That's exactly what we need to hear." And so I'll let you know this. It's been a very long time since I've shared the entirety of the things that I'll say today. I started writing a book roughly about 1.5 years ago. And that book encapsulates the things that I'll talk about today from a summary perspective. So I'm letting you guys know that you are the first group that I've actually talked to since I've started writing this book. So without you knowing it, you've already signed up to buy a book. So that's the agreement today. But in order for me really to help you understand the depth of what I want to talk about, I want to tell you a little bit of a story. It was September 15th in 2002, and it's 1:15 in the afternoon, give or take. And there's a young 23-year-old. He's unimpressionable. He's standing on the sidelines of what at that time was Qualcomm Stadium in San Diego, California. And just as this famous person is singing the national anthem, and at the culmination, almost simultaneously as they're finishing, their jets flying over the stadium, there's a roar of the crowd, and this guy is looking up in the sky, and he literally has tears in his eyes. And the reason why maybe most people standing around wouldn't have understood the emotion this person was feeling in the moment is because they had no idea of what the previous 4 to 5 months had looked like. You see, this was the moment when opportunity met preparation, and it equaled a dream achieved for this 23-year-old. And of course, you guys know that that 23-year-old was me. And what that moment represented on September 15, 2002 at 1:15 in the afternoon was the day of my first NFL start. Now, in order for you to really understand the depth of what I felt in that moment, I have to take you back to 4 months prior, in which I went through probably at that time what felt like the worst moment of my life in what felt like perceived failure. I say perceived because as I continue to talk, you'll understand that I look at failure totally different now than I probably did at that time as that young, impressionable 23-year-old. You see, I learned a valuable lesson in achieving success and what that looks like. And this is something that all of us can relate to. It doesn't matter what industry you're working in. It doesn't matter what title or what role you hold or what your title says on your badge. All of us can relate to wanting to achieve success and really what that takes. And unfortunately, we live in a society where people have dumbed down the idea of what it takes to acquire success. So it looks like a social media fast food world where everything happens very quickly and there is no process that you have to go through in order to achieve success. But I learned a lesson very quickly that day, and it was a lesson that I've been able to apply to every aspect of my life, including being the coach at Faith Lutheran High School. You see, when I walked into that situation at Faith Lutheran, I was walking into a situation that, to be honest, between you and I was not properly prepared for, and I really didn't have the confidence. See, I had played the game of football for 18 years of my life, but I had never coached one day in my life. And when they came calling me and offering me a job to be a coach after they had scoured the country and having over 60 different applicants over 13 different states, they called and literally offered me the job on the spot. And I said, well, I didn't apply. And they said, well, we know that you're a leader and we believe in you. And they believed in me, and in a way I didn't believe in myself. And while I knew about football, I didn't know the first thing about coaching. But I understood leadership, and I also understood what it meant to inspire and to motivate people. And it's exactly what I did. And the thing that I'm going to introduce you to today that I worked in my own life was the same thing that I applied that day. You see, I understood that there were 3 P's to success. And when I say 3 P's to success, or 3 P's to success, is 3 parts of it that we all must understand in whatever industry, in whatever thing that we are seeking to acquire success in. The first thing is that success is intentional. The second thing is that struggle is inevitable. And then the last thing is that faith is essential. I want to talk about this for a moment. When we say success has to be intentional, it's something that has to happen on purpose. You are not going to be successful just because you want to. It's something that you have to, on purpose and intentionally, every single day, go after with a plan, a strategy, and with the proper mindset in order to acquire the success that you're seeking. People will tell you, oh, it's enough to just have faith and just to hope. But even the Bible tells us that faith without works is dead. There is something that is required on our parts. And if we're just hoping that we're going to stumble, trip, and fall into success, then you're going to be hoping in vain. It is something that is going to require work. And for the first time in my life, as that young 23-year-old, I had to find that out the hard way. You see, because prior to that, I had achieved success on every level of competitive football since the day I started playing when I was 12 years old. I was always the best player on my team. I was always awarded the MVP of my team. I was used to being the best. And for the first time, someone was telling me I wasn't good enough. Because back in April of 2002, just a few months prior to that September date, I sat at home in front of my TV for 2 days expecting and being told that I would be drafted as high as a 3rd or 4th round draft pick in the 2002 NFL draft. But I sat at home and I watched for 2 days, never to see my name scroll across the screen, never to have that moment where I could put on the ball cap or celebrate with my family. And I sat there wondering if my dream had been dashed down the toilet. And it was a moment I had to look introspectively and say, how bad do you really want this? Because I was this close to quitting playing football. I had achieved all of my academic goals. I had received one of the highest honors that you can receive academically in college. I was one of 16 that were named the academic Heisman, and I was able to go to New York and go through that entire experience, and all of these wonderful things had happened. And for a moment I sat there and I said, well, I could just go to any school in the country and get my master's and just, go off and do something different. But I thought about what it was going to take to achieve success. And I thought about a dream I had when I was 7 years old. And so I had to work at it. I got a phone call from the then great John Butler, who was the general manager of the San Diego Chargers. And he called me at that time and he said, hey, young man, he goes, would you like to be a San Diego Charger? And I thought to myself, I would be a San Diego Zebra if it means I can play football. And so, of course, I accepted that opportunity. And it was different than what you see on TV. I didn't get the big signing bonus. Simply all I got was a handshake and an opportunity. And I got there and I realized this is going to be nearly impossible because I was a 6th-string guy at my position, meaning there were 5 other guys in front of me. The first guy was a future Hall of Famer at the position that I played, and I was the shortest guy at my position. And I thought to myself, this is going to be impossible. And a part of my process of understanding what it was going to take in order to acquire success was to control what I can control, and what I could not, I had to leave up to God and up to my intense hard work and perseverance. And so it was me being successful, which brought me to the next piece of the success puzzle, was that struggle was inevitable. You see, when I first came up with this process, I used to say that failure was inevitable. And for some reason, that didn't settle right with me. Every time I said it, it troubled me inside, because what I realized is that it's not failure if it's not final. If it's failure, then that means that the opportunity has been lost. And I look back over it, and in a past tense way of saying it, I say I failed. But I thought about it. It's only struggle. It's not failure. Failure is when you stop trying and you give up. And so I changed it. I said, listen, struggle is a part of this process. It's inevitable. It's something that you're going to come up against. If you were to survey any successful person in whatever industry, at whatever level of life, you will find out that they all have something in common. And it's that it probably did not work out the first time they tried. It's very rare that a person achieves quick success. And if they do, I can tell you this, it won't last long. That when you go through the process, and when you have perceived failure and you struggle to get there, when you get there, you appreciate it a whole lot. Not only do you appreciate it a whole lot, but you understand the journey and the process that it took in order to get to where you are. And that keeps you in a place where you're constantly striving to stay in that place, and you're not becoming complacent, but you're being content in the process and understanding that it's just a process. I heard someone say this one time, and it was one of the coolest things I ever heard. They said that if the elevator door is closed, you can take the stairs. It might take a while, but you'll get there. If the car doesn't start, just take the bus. It's no stopping us. And when I heard that, I said, man, that's my story. Because sometimes we want the elevator to success. We want to get there quick. But what we don't realize is that sometimes when you take the elevator, you miss some things along the way. See, if I take the stairs versus the elevator, I'm burning a few calories. There are some things that are happening. I'm developing muscles. I'm doing things that I won't get through the elevator process. And there's so many people who gain elevator success. It happens fast, but then they fizzle away and the opportunity is lost. And I learned some things about struggle. I learned that struggle is a part of our process, and struggle is good for us. As a matter of fact, I learned this. Preparation became necessary in the process of struggle, because every single day when I was showing up to that team and I was sixth string, I was getting maybe one opportunity a day to show what I could do. That's it. I couldn't control how many opportunities they gave me. The only thing I could control is if they gave me an opportunity, I was going to be prepared. And I was going to show them that I belong there and that they made a mistake in not selecting me, and that I would solidify the fact that I was supposed to be in the NFL. And my coach at the time, the late Marty Schottenheimer, I'll never forget, one day he walked over to me and he goes, "Man, where did you come from?" And I'm thinking to myself, I've been here. You guys just didn't know it. And he goes, "Man, you're like a gem. I don't know how we found you." And I found myself go from sixth string to fifth string, from fifth string to fourth string to third string. And I'm thinking to myself, this is crazy, because every single day I was seeing people get sick home, and that was just a part of the business. While everyone else is watching the NFL and it's entertainment, it is livelihood struggle for the guys that are out there, believe it or not, especially the ones that are in my position, because there was no investment in me. There was no reason for them to keep me. So if I wasn't producing, I wasn't sticking around. And that was my job every day, to control what I can control. And I realized something, that opportunity doesn't give notice. You don't know when an opportunity will present itself. It's your job to be prepared when that opportunity comes. Because if it comes and you're not ready, you have no one to blame but yourself. And every day, that was the mindset that I had to develop. That was the thing that I had to remember. I had to remember that this struggle is necessary. This is a part of my process. It's making me appreciate, because I'll be honest, I was a big-headed, prideful little dude. You experience that much success your entire life, man, you are on top of the world, and you're forgetting about where your talent, your skills, your abilities come from, and you start to think it's all about you. And that was a humbling experience that was necessary and needed. I would never trade my experience, because I know that that made me who I am today. If I had been given it on a platter, millions of dollars and an opportunity that I thought that I deserved at that time, it would have ruined me. So that struggle was inevitable. And it takes me to my last point. Faith is essential, absolutely necessary. Because for the first time, not only did I feel humbled, but I also felt humiliated. And I felt like, these people don't believe in me. They don't think I'm good enough. That was going through my head every single day. Every day that I went out there, they don't think I'm good enough. They don't think I'm good enough. And finally, I had to tell myself, do you think you're good enough? Because if you believe you're good enough, it doesn't matter who else believes it. Because the energy, because of the confidence that you exude, it is the thing that's going to attract people. People know if you don't believe in yourself. If you've had an opportunity to pitch your business to someone, to an investor, or you're talking to someone about what it is that you do, people will know right away if you are convinced that what you're doing is effective. And that's what I had to understand. Listen, whether they believe in me or not, I got to believe in myself. And every day, that's the way that I operated. That's the way that I presented myself, with full confidence. So when I was asked to do anything, I was the first person to jump in. Whether I knew it or not, I was going to figure it out on the fly. I was going to show that I belong there. And I'll never forget the day that I walked in, because what they did was, when you were an undrafted rookie free agent, they kind of just treated you like that. So, you had all of these lockers, and these big wooden lockers with people's names in them, and, the picture and their jersey number and all this cool stuff. But I was in like one of those metal lockers in the middle of the locker room, sharing it with a guy, another grown man. We're right there like trying to change. And I'll never forget the day I walked in and I looked up and I saw my name on one of those lockers. Oh my gosh. I got on the phone immediately. I called my mother. I was like, I think I'm on the team. And she's like, well, I think you probably are if you got a locker. And I'm looking around, and Drew Brees' lockers right here, LaDainian Tomlinson, Junior Seau, Doug Flutie. And I'm like, I made this team. And just to think that 4 months prior to that, I was ready to quit. I was ready to give up. But the lesson I learned was that not only having faith in myself, but ultimate faith in God. Because that's where my skills, my talents, and my abilities come from. And I realized something. I'm like, listen, it doesn't have to work out the way that I think that it has to work. It's not about how I get here. It's just getting here. Because I'll tell you another part of that story, and then I'll answer some questions. On September 15, 2002, 1:15 in the afternoon, here's the coolest thing about that story. That was the day of my first NFL start. Coincidentally, the team that I was starting against was the Houston Texans. It was their first year of existence, their first season, and their first overall pick just happened to be my college teammate, the brother of the Raiders quarterback, Derek Carr, David Carr. So here's the thing. And I remember thinking this in this very moment that I'm standing there on the sideline of that stadium and I'm looking up and the jets are flying over and I'm looking across and I'm seeing David on the other side of the field. And I'm thinking to myself, he was the first overall pick, the front of Sports Illustrated, multi-million-dollar contract. And I was the last guy signed to this roster, 6th string. And I'm standing here and we both got the same opportunity to start in an NFL game. And someone came to me before the game, one of the reporters, they're like, man, you know, this is awesome. You're getting your first NFL start. And, you know, how do you feel? I'm like, you know, I feel amazing. They're like, what would just make this, you know, the best thing that could ever happen? I said, if I pick off David Carr, if I get an interception, I said, that would make my day. And sure enough, picked him off. And he was so upset. He won't admit it. But I remember after the game, we were both kind of in the media room and he's standing there in like this 3-piece suit looking like $1 million. And I got on like, you know, jeans and whatever. I was just, you know, getting my first check, that type of thing. And I remember, you know, going over and shaking his hand and I'm thinking to myself, this just isn't real. But it was real. And it was because I applied those principles to understand that success was intentional, struggle was inevitable, and faith is essential. And so my encouragement to every person in this room, again, no matter where you are in your life, because success is not relative to a situation, a circumstance, all of us want success on some level. All of us are seeking to grow, to progress, to go to the next level in whatever it is that we do, to operate in excellence and be the best that we can be. And this can be applied to your situation and circumstance. I'm telling you, when I went over there to Faith Lutheran, I knew nothing. I didn't know what I was doing. I did not, there were many days where I'm sitting there thinking to myself, like, I made the biggest mistake of my life. This is one of the parents here of one of the players that played for me when I was there. And I'll never forget, she wasn't there then, but I'll never forget the first day they announced me as the coach. And they had like this little open forum where they were introducing me. And it was someone's bright idea to let the parents ask questions. And so I'm standing up there behind a podium like this. The only difference is that I'm sweating profusely because they're asking me questions that I cannot answer. And I have no idea. And I remember getting in the car after that, and my wife and I were headed over to Panera Bread, and she goes, babe, I felt so bad for you. I was like, I feel bad for me too. And I got to figure out a way to get out of this. But ultimately, all I did was I applied those principles. And every single day, even when it looked rough, even when that struggle set in, I had to maintain that faith, and I had to remember every day I have to be intentional about seeking this success. And it wasn't something I did on my own. I was surrounded by amazing people, an amazing administration, amazing parents that bought into the vision, wonderful kids that believed in themselves and believed in what we were preaching, and we were able to achieve that success. So you can't tell me that that doesn't work. So with that being said, I'm so appreciative of the opportunity to be here today to share these things. And I pray that at least one thing I said inspired, motivated, educated, and just gave you a little bit to help you to believe in what it is that you're doing. And just know that there's a process and it takes time. There's a journey, but you can get there. So, all right. Awesome. Thank you guys so much.
You want to take questions? Okay.
So I don't know if you guys have any questions, but I'm listening to Tarby. He told me to answer any questions that anyone had. Yes.
So I have a question. When you were in your times, the lowest point in your mindset, when you wanted to quit, you said that you made a decision to persevere, to keep going forward. But what do you have any books that you recommend or anything that you did when you wanted, or, you know, when you were at your lowest point, when it was easy to quit, to break out of that mindset and move forward?
I think the biggest thing for me in that moment was really to center myself around understanding that it was bigger than me again. Because for myself, up until that point, I thought that all of my success was predicated on my ability, my skills, my talents, and obviously that wasn't good enough. So for the first time, you know, I felt a bit helpless in terms of what I could control. And I remember the moment where there was a shift for me. I went to a chapel service for the San Diego Chargers, and the chaplain at the time was a guy by the name of Sean Mitchell. He was a pastor in San Diego, and I'm sitting there, and I was in a really low space. I was really quiet and just sitting around and just hoping not to go home every day. And I remember sitting in this meeting, and he said something, and it like woke me up from that moment on. But what he said, and again, it depends on who you are and where you are. I'm a man of faith, and when he said this, it just awakened something in me. He said, "You have to work like it all depends on you and pray like it all depends on God." And that day, I just thought to myself, am I doing enough on my part? Like, what am I doing to make this work? Because I can hope as much as I want. I can wait for someone to get hurt for an opportunity to arise, but what am I doing to control it? And my preparation level went to another level. Like, I made sure that if I got one play that day, I was going to be perfect. And the thing that changed for me one day was a coach asked me to go. He was going through all different guys, just asking them questions, get in front of the team. Guys were kind of scared, embarrassed, like didn't want to make a mistake. And he asked me to go up, and I went up with full confidence. And he asked me a question. I put it on the board. I answered it. He was like, "Oh." He asked me another one. I put it up. I answered it. He ran off of probably 10, 15 questions. And not only did I know what I was supposed to do, but I knew what everyone was supposed to do. And I think from that day forward, it changed not only my mind and my confidence level, but even those around me. They saw, that I was capable. So I don't know that there's a specific, tool or resource that I leaned on other than my faith and really just being intentional, as I mentioned. Any other questions? Every time I go and I speak at schools and I talk to kids, and I open up for questions, their questions are so funny. What kind of car do you drive? How much money did you make? I'm like, what? Those are personal questions. I was born and raised here. I went to Cimarron Memorial High School, as Tarby mentioned, and then I went on from there to Fresno State University. But yes, local product.
Hi, I'm Kathy Mann, and I tutored a kid named Devon Dinkins at one of the schools. We go and spread the word Nevada, and we tutor these kids, and got him from like 47th percentile to the 97th in reading. But he wants to be a professional football player. So I was wondering if I can track him down through the school system. Maybe I could connect you guys, because I think you could give him the extra spark he needs to really push through and become what he really wants to be.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm all about helping as much as I can. It becomes a little more difficult these days in terms of kind of the one-on-one, but 100%, I would certainly commit to having a conversation with him if that does nothing more than just inspire him. Because I think sometimes all people need to see is that it's possible, and they need to hear that. One of the things I realized when I went to Faith Lutheran, that it wasn't about skill set, it was mindset. Like, mindset is so much more important than skill set. It'll take you a lot further. And if you can see something and believe it, then it will predicate the actions that you take. And sometimes a young person, that's all they need in order to kind of change their navigation. So certainly, yeah, I'll take one of these cards. I have some cards over here, some other things that I do in terms of culture, leadership, and program development for businesses. Take that and you can reach out to me.
Vernon, I just have to say I've heard so many motivational speakers and presentations over my career and lifetime, and you really touched my heart today. Wow. I needed to hear this. Wow. And I don't know how many else in here, but thank you so much for coming to this club and sharing your experience. God bless you.
Oh, thank you so much. That makes it worth it. If for no other reason, that's why I do what I do.
Thank you very much. Before you go, we have a couple things for you. Number one, in Rotary, we have a code of conduct called the four-way test, where we ask ourselves 4 questions. Is it the truth? Is it fair? Is it beneficial to all concerned? And I'm on the spot now, and I can't remember the 4th one. And I don't have my glasses, so there's a 4th one that's really good, but there's that. I apologize. And we have what we call the Soul Power Award. We sponsor 6 schools in the Clark County School District in the worst areas of town, and we give shoes and we'll give some shoes in your name
Oh, wow.
to students at that school.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, next week our speaker was Desiree Reed Francois, and she decided to move. She's going to Missouri, and so we don't have a speaker next week, but we will, and it'll be really good. And with that, our meeting is adjourned. Okay, what's the fourth question on the four-way test?
Lowry's the prime rib. Escape, buddy. Out.